Alright, so what we have here is I got some cool things to share with you guys. So, I ended up picking up some 2020 maple leaves. Damn, the light's really bad today. Yeah, I got these 2020 maple leaves, and I got 4 of them. The reason I picked these up mainly is, look at the year 2020. We are going down in history, and I think a lot of things related to this year down the road are just going to be a lot more collectible and have a lot more value to them. So from American Eagles to, Australian mint, all the just different mints, the Eagles, everything out there, I want to at least collect a nice stack of the 2020s to look back and remember what happened and what we went through during this year and possibly what it's leading to. So then on top of that, with all the mayhem and chaos and everything going on, I've been trying to get coins related to that. And what I have here, I got 2 of them. I want to get more, but it also shows 2020 on it. And this is the True Patriot coin for 2020, and it is just phenomenal. I mean, it has a proof life finish with the soldier holding the flag, and it's just beautiful. And then if you notice, behind the soldier is a flag, and it says, True Patriot. And on the other side is the Statue of Liberty, the Eagle, in 2020. Now, given what we're going through right now in America, true patriots are what we need. And a lot of us need to open our eyes and realize to what's really happening out there. And, it seems like we're starting to lose liberties, rights, and things are getting restricted. And we can't allow that to happen. We cannot trade our rights and liberties for security, regardless the situation. We need to unite, be Americans, stand together, and stand strong. So I know I've been preaching this a lot lately, but more than ever right now, we need to be getting prepared in every which way possible. And I think it's really important to be stacking, because we really need to get financially prepared, because there's a lot of crazy things going on in our economy. We have a lot of money printing. We have just things going out of control. The Federal Reserve right now is doing all kinds of random programs. They're out of control. They're panicking. They don't even know what to do. I mean, let's think about it. Just less than 6 months ago, a little before, probably around 7 months ago, they were talking about raising interest rates. And then shortly after, since then, we've done nothing but drop interest rates. And now the talk going around out there is they're saying for them to even possibly think to have a V-shaped recovery in the economy, that they're going to have to go negative on interest rates. Now, we all knew this was coming, especially if you watch any economic video or mine. But negative interest rates aren't going to benefit me and you. They're actually going to affect us negatively. Once again, all they're thinking about is the top. The corporations, the big banks, the businesses, the millionaires, the billionaires, not us little guys. And this is why we need to do what they're doing, and that's collect these precious metals. The Fed right now is unhinged, and our government's letting them do whatever they want. Now think about it. We have been injecting and printing trillions upon trillions of dollars, and how much have we got? Where's it all gone? Where's it going? And if you look, a lot of it's going into the big banks, the corporations, and the stock market. Let's not forget that. The stock market is not allowed to fall. They will not let it fall. Yellowstone National Park super volcano could start erupting and stocks would go up 1,000 points. They will not let it fall. Now, if you're in the stock market, because I know some of you are that I talk to, I'm not saying there's not money to be made. I'm just saying let's be very, very cautious, because when this stops, or whenever they decide to stop it, things are going to happen so fast, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to get your money out. And that's what scares me the most. So I'm not saying you can't make money right now in the stock market. You actually can, because as of now, It's not allowed to lose. But we just got to be extremely cautious and get these safe haven assets to protect us by diversifying. And that's why I say we got to do what they're doing. Let's not forget, I did an earlier video on this. JP Morgan Chase owns the biggest hoard of silver in America and possibly in the world for organizations, companies, or banks. They have over 133 million ounces of physical silver, plus they control the majority of they're like the trustee of the COMEX silver and gold. So Morgan Chase isn't a company that invests that much money in something just to make a 1 or 2% gain. JP Morgan does things like that when they know they're not going to fail and it's going to benefit them, 10x, 50x, who knows. There's a reason they have that much silver, and let's not forget that. I think when this economy really starts opening back up because of the industrial demand in silver, once again, we need it in all this new technology we're doing. This camera has it. My phone has it. These solar panels that everyone's getting into have to have a lot amount of silver to be produced. These new electrical cars, so many things moving into our future have to have silver. But yet every year we're creating a massive deficit. We are not pulling as much silver out of the ground and producing it as we're using. So as that happens, we're burning up the supply. And that's pretty much what I'm saying here. And we need to get our hands on it while we can, why it's affordable, before it's something of the past that only the elite can have and hold. Now, I guess what I'm rambling on about here is between this pandemic, the riots going on, it's masking a lot of what's going on in our economy. Our economy is severely crumbling and failing. And the elite know this, and they're hiding it from us. They're talking about this second round of stimulus, but they're fighting back and forth like it's this huge deal. And, God forbid that they give working Americans a piece of the pie. But yet Trump today announces, he's asking the Fed for at least another $1 trillion. How much of that do you think we're going to get? Where do you think that's going to go? All they care about is the upper class, the top percent. They are trying to create either you are a have or a have not. Either you own it or you rent it. They really, really want to make a two-tier society and leave us at the bottom with nothing. By the time that $1 trillion trickles down to us, we'll be lucky if we see pennies. It is just mind-blowing we're letting this going on. Every one of us Americans should be down with them protesters protesting about our inequality and what the heck they're doing in our economy. They're destroying it, but before they destroy it, they're making sure that they're setting up pretty. And if you're not getting ready for it, I'm telling you, you're going to be in some really, really bad situations moving forward, because this is heating up fast. And once it happens, it's going to be like flipping on a switch. We're going to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, what the heck just happened? What do we do? Where do we go? This is why we need to be prepared. So when that light switch flips, you're not one of the people sitting there saying that. You know what to do. You know where to go. And you're ready for what's coming. And I'm sorry I'm talking a little aggressive about this today, but it's just eating me up inside, and it's getting me so frustrated to see what they're doing. Even here in Pennsylvania, I read an article yesterday that over 300,000 people laid off in Pennsylvania still haven't gotten unemployment. Now let me tell you guys, I go back to work Monday. I've been off since around March 20-something. I got one unemployment check the following week, and I have not gotten nothing since. This whole time, going on 8 weeks. Now, I've mentioned this before, because I prepare, yeah, it sucks, yeah, it's hurt me, but not like it would somebody that wasn't prepared or lives by themselves. I also have a wife that has a decent job, and she's been keeping us afloat this whole time. But this is just mind-blowing. An average hard-working American can't even get the unemployment that he earned and put into but yet we're going to give the corporations and banks and stock market another $1 trillion on top of all the money we've already given them. But yet we're sitting here on the back burner like, what do we do? I got a friend I talked to today who is getting harassed by his landlord because he was only able to pay half of it this month. And I don't even know right now with all the laws, and I know evictions are suspended, if they can do that. But the point is it's just, he shouldn't have to go through that. You know, and it's got me to a boiling point, everybody. It really does. And I can only imagine how things are going to play out in the future for people who aren't getting prepared. And it really scares me for everyone who's not, and even for us that are. Because we're possibly moving into the worst economic situation that we've ever seen here in America, but yet no one in the government's talking about it. They're acting like everything's fine, telling us we're going to have the V-shaped recovery, and they're doing everything they can to keep the stock market up, trying to compare that to the economy, when they are completely two different things. They are completely detached from each other and have nothing to do with each other. They were saying that 42% of the people laid off in America right now, 42% of them, will not go back to work because their company is closing, will close, or cutting back to where they're laying people off. So even when people start getting unemployment, and it runs out in the next 10 months or so, can you imagine how devastating that's going to be with all these millions upon millions of people not even having a job to go back to? And that's not even talking about if anything else crazy happens in the future, whether these protests pick up or we have a second wave from this pandemic and things might have to shut back down again. If you cannot see the manipulation going on out there, if you cannot see the danger ahead to get prepared, I feel really bad for you, and I just really hope you start opening your eyes and see that we really need to start getting ready, everybody. Now, you got to remember, wealth doesn't disappear. It just gets transferred. And you got to think about it. We're already giving these banks and corporations in the stock markets trillions of dollars of our tax money, by the way, on our backs, our kids' backs. And all these mom and pops and small businesses and even medium-sized businesses are starting to close because they've gotten hurt and affected so bad by what's going on. And who gets these buildings and these commercial properties when these companies can't afford to keep them and keep them open anymore? They go right back to the banks. So it just doesn't make sense. And then the Federal Reserve is giving these banks more money, and they're all buying up these assets. So as us working class Americans and small medium business owners start losing our businesses and start losing our commercial properties, the banks, the Fed gets to print money out of nowhere, give it to the banks, and they get to keep them and buy them up. And then a whole another cycle begins for them. But my point is us Americans are losing everything. And it's all going to these corporations, the Federal Reserve, and the banks. They're going to own everything, guys. They literally are going to go own everything. If we don't open our eyes and make a change or do something soon, and I almost feel like that's their game plan. I don't know. I hate to sound like conspiracy about it, but as we lose it, they're getting it. And then we're just handing them millions and millions and trillions of more money. So they're capable and able to do this. I just don't get it, everybody. I don't. But thanks for listening to my rant. I hope you guys enjoyed the coins. You know, I'm really, like I said, trying to focus on 2020 because I think it's going to have a lot of meaning in the future towards our history and our children and grandchildren's history. And I just hope everyone's staying safe out there, guys. So please, everybody, keep prepping.